Prepare for IELTS. Academic Writing Task 1. Structure and Marking. Introduction. Welcome back to Prepare for IELTS. In this lesson, we will introduce IELTS Academic Writing Task 1 in terms of its structure and marking criteria. We will also define each kind of Task 1 question type. In subsequent lessons in this course module, we will look at examples of Task 1 essay questions in greater detail. Refer to the Prepare for IELTS course information page on the website, linked below, to browse the large catalogue of other lessons on offer, including lessons on IELTS Academic Task 2 essays, the IELTS Speaking section, and the IELTS Reading section. Recommended resources. If you have watched or read some of our other Prepare for IELTS lessons, such as the About the Speaking Test, Structure and Marking, and Task 2 essays, Structure and Marking, then you will already be familiar with IELTS marking criteria, as we have discussed band descriptors at great length in this course before. Although we will define the marking scheme for Task 1 academic writing in a similar manner in this lesson, we would strongly advise that you watch or read these other lessons either before this lesson or soon after to get the full benefit. Because IELTS Task 1 involves charts and data, having a working understanding of fundamental mathematical concepts and terminology is necessary. It is for this reason that we have prepared the Introduction to Mathematics course to provide definitions and explanation to many of the terms and concepts that will be used in this lesson series. Leave a comment or write to us if you have any questions. Academic Task 1 Essay Structure. As we have done in the past, we will be referencing information taken from the official IELTS.org Information for Candidates brochure as our source text, which can be found at this website. Pause the video on the next slide to read over the material. Pay attention to the information pertaining to Task 1 academic writing only. Summary. In IELTS Writing Task 1, candidates are presented with visual data in the form of charts, graphs, tables or diagrams, and are required to describe the information in a 3-paragraph essay of 150 words in 20 minutes or less. In doing so, candidates are assessed on their abilities to do one or more of the following: to gather, organize, present and possibly compare data, to describe the stages of a process or a sequence of events, to describe one or more objects or localities in a diagram or map. Question types. These are the main question types: charts and graphs including line charts, bar charts and pie charts, tables, process diagrams, maps. Note that in some instances you may receive a question that contains a combination of charts, for example a bar chart in combination with a table or pie chart, etc. Line charts. Line charts are commonly used to visualize a positive or negative trend. The word trend denotes a set of variables that change predictably over a period of time. The chart itself consists of a series of points connected by a line, with each point representing the value of the variable at a given time period. Several lines can be portrayed on the same chart for the purposes of making comparisons. Bar charts. Bar charts are commonly used for side-by-side comparisons of data across categories, and sometimes over a period of time. A bar chart presents data in rectangular bars with lengths proportional to the value they represent. The bars can be vertical or horizontal. Pie charts. Pie charts are commonly used to compare different categories of data in proportion to other categories and to the whole. The chart consists of slices, with each slice representing a category, and its size representing its proportion or percentage. Tables. Tables and spreadsheets function as complex lists. They are composed of horizontal rows and vertical columns labeled by headers. The candidate will need to identify significant features, such as how the table is organized, how the data is sorted, and other notable observations about the table and its data. Sometimes tables will be structured to show changes over time. In other instances, the candidate may need to be more creative and analytical to give a concise yet thorough summary. Process diagrams. These questions require the candidate to describe and explain a process, or a sequence of events, such as describing a manufacturing process from beginning to end. Maps. Map questions typically show two maps side by side of a location, and ask the candidate to explain the changes. The map should include a legend to help orient the reader to where things are located spatially. The candidate will be expected to use his/her command of prepositions of place to describe where objects and places are located in relation to other items on the map. In future lessons, we will look at several examples of each type more closely and explain the best approach to take when responding to them. Let's move on to the marking criteria now. Writing Task 1 Band Descriptors. IELTS uses a band descriptors system to assess a candidate's English language abilities. A band score is given for each task in the IELTS section, e.g. writing section, speaking section, etc., ranging from 0 to 9, with 9 signifying expert abilities and 0 signifying no abilities. Numbers 5 to 8 signify average or above average capabilities, with varying amounts of errors. In communicative tasks, such as speaking and writing, the band score is graded across 4 categories, which are then averaged together. The 4 categories in speaking and Task 1 and 2 academic writing have their apparent similarities and differences. For our purposes in this lesson, we will focus exclusively on the Task 1 academic writing band descriptors, what they are, and what they mean in practical application. We will be referencing the Writing Task 1 band descriptors as our source text, which can be found at this website. Pause the video on the next slide to read the information. Note that the chart combines General Training, GT, with Academic, A. Disregard all points labeled GT. Task Achievement. This criterion evaluates how well the candidate has fulfilled the task requirements, in terms of content and accuracy. In other words, it assesses whether or not the candidate correctly answers the question, and to what extent does the essay satisfy fully all of its requirements. The candidate's response should demonstrate clear understanding of the given visual data, present a concise overview of the information in his/her introduction, and highlight at least one or more of its most significant features. Examiner questions. Does the candidate demonstrate a good understanding of the task requirements and its content? Does the candidate fulfill the task requirements fully? If not, how could the response be improved? What information has the candidate failed to provide in his/her response? Does the candidate provide a clear and accurate paraphrasing of the question statement in his/her introductory paragraph? Does the introductory paragraph precisely summarize the visual data as a general overview? Does the candidate identify the key trends and significant changes or comparisons in the visual data? Coherence and cohesion. This criterion assesses how well the candidate understands the information in the visual data, and how well he/she can manage to organize and present ideas in writing in a way that is coherent, i.e. understandable, to readers. The candidate is assessed in how skillfully he/she can produce sentences and paragraphs that show a clear progression of different points that ultimately add up to a fully developed main idea. The writing contains a range of cohesive devices, such as linking words, transitional phrases, and referencing, so that the information is presented in a well-organized, logically sequenced manner that is largely free of errors or ambiguity. Examiner questions. Does the candidate use appropriate organizational tools to structure his/her writing, such as paragraphs and topic sentences? Does the writing demonstrate a clear progression of ideas? Does the candidate use cohesive devices effectively to link ideas together and create a coherent piece of writing? Does the writing flow smoothly and logically, making it easy for the reader to follow? Lexical resource. This criterion evaluates the range of vocabulary, including phrases and idioms, known to the candidate, how well he/she can use it in his/her own writing, and to what extent does his/her choice of words and phrases precisely convey his/her intended meanings. The candidate should demonstrate his/her having knowledge of use of synonyms and paraphrasing to give variety to the language. The writing is free of repetition, and he/she avoids the use of overused and mechanical-sounding language. Rather, the candidate can communicate in a way that seems natural and achieves a professional tone of voice in his/her writing through appropriate word choices. Examiner questions. Can the candidate demonstrate his/her having a sophisticated command of lexis, including uncommon words, idiomatic phrases, and other forms of figurative language, in his/her writing? To what extent does his/her choice of words and phrases precisely convey meaning? Are his/her lexical choices used in a way that is relevant and appropriate to the writing task or not? Does the candidate use synonyms and paraphrasing to give variety to the language? Grammatical range and accuracy. This criterion assesses the degree of control and flexibility the candidate has over the use of a range of simple and complex grammatical structures. The candidate should be able to use a variety of sentence structures with correct tenses and punctuation. If you would like to learn more about advanced grammar concepts to improve your writing, refer to our Guide to Grammar course. Examiner questions. Can the candidate write using a wide range of different sentence structures? Are the majority of the sentences in the writing error-free, in terms of grammar and punctuation? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, remember to follow this channel for regularly posted content. Check out the many other IELTS and academic English skills lessons and courses offered. Leave me a question or comment, or just hit the like button to support my efforts. To gain exclusive VIP access to downloadable exercises, or to arrange a personal consultation, write to me. Or go to www.practicalenglishwithdarcy.blogspot.com for more.